What's good, homies? We are back here at the crib for another inside video. So far we've only dropped one, which was kind of spontaneous, but now I thought another inside video was long overdue. So for this inside video, I've come a little bit more prepared because I wrote my thoughts out on post-it notes that I'm gonna share with y'all. But the purpose of this video is for me to share with y'all my insight on what it means to set boundaries, whether it be with your partner, with yourself, with homies, with your coworkers, anyone. In no way, shape, or form are these pieces of advice gonna be perfect, and I actually struggle day to day in trying to manifest and execute these, but I thought I'd share these out with folks because I feel like I'm personally at a place where I'm manifesting these a little bit more than I used to maybe a couple months ago. Also, I think right now is a very important time to sort of share this information with folks because given technology and social media, everyone can sort of see what everyone's up to day to day. So here it goes. Boundaries for me are rooted in self-preservation, restoration, sustainability, and protecting relationships at the end of the day. So here are my 3 pillars, aka frameworks, to help my homies out there, whoever's watching this, find ways to lean more into setting boundaries for yourself. Alright, number 1, you gotta say no. Honestly, I have a couple people, well, I've had a lot of people sort of ask a lot of tasks from me, a lot of people who ask a lot of time from me, and given my post-grad navigation right now, I've never been more tired after 5 p.m. than any other period in my life. With that, when people are like, yo, like, are you free? Technically, yes, I am free, but do I have the energy to go out? I don't. And I think it's very, very important for you to say no, even to people who you love the most, because if they give you crap for being like, what, you're free, but you can't hang out, or you're free, but you can't do this for me, they're actually not respecting your time, your energy, your whole being, and I think that's messed up. Oftentimes, I think I classify myself with a lot of other folks who are more open-hearted and willing to kind of shrink down to make more space for other people. The sad thing about that is that we oftentimes are too vulnerable and hold a lot of guilt in terms of feeling like we need to be there for people we really care about, because we do care about them. But I know it's cliche and people say it a lot, but yo, the more you're there for other people, you will start to realize that you're pouring into all these people's cups. And one question I always go back to asking myself is, who's pouring into me? So say no, and that's it. Like, sometimes you don't even need to explain yourself. I think the culture nowadays has to shift to people being alright with expecting no as an answer, because people, especially the people I've been around, ask things with the expectation that I'll say yes. So it's definitely a power move. It's super hard, and if you want to talk to me more about sort of examples of how I've executed this in my life, I'll at your boy. Alright, number 2, all these post-it notes slash ideas are gonna overlap, so you're gonna hear me reiterate a couple of points. Number 2 is trust your homies. So I have said this a lot. I'm very particular with my diction, my word choice, whatever I say and speak into this universe. One of those things is actually claiming if people are my friends, claiming if people are my homies. Throughout college, throughout dance, throughout all my other jobs, I've crossed paths with a lot of amazing people. However, I don't think that necessarily means that those people have to be my friends, or what I classify my standards for friendship to be like. Some of those standards just have to do with reciprocity, understanding, and trust. I have a lot of people that I know care about me, which is amazing, and I do care about them from afar. But with that, I've had a couple people who have tried to ask me to kick it or to do all these things when I'm like drained of all my energy. And people would argue like, yo, these people have been asking you to hang out or do all these things, and you just keep saying no, or you keep pushing it back like you're such a bad friend. On my end, I'm like, I can see where you're coming from, but I wouldn't classify myself as a bad friend. Maybe I just don't classify this person as my friend to begin with. And sort of that barrier and that division I have created mentally for myself has allowed me to feel more free in making the decisions I need to make, to set boundaries, to say no. I have like a very few amount of people living like right now in the Bay Area who I really classify as my homies. Like, I will go out of my way, I will take an hour BART train to see someone. Like, that's the only people I really care about in this moment, and I don't feel bad about it. So you need to trust that even even if the homies that you really care about, you don't talk to like every day, every second, I don't know, not even once a week. If your homies are your homies, like time really doesn't mean anything. You cannot see each other for a year and link up and you already know like what's good. So if there's someone out there who's kind of giving you crap for, you know, you taking up your own space and doing your thing, I would encourage you to reevaluate what that person means to you. And if they're not a homie, like, then take them out of the homie zone, like, for real. Like, it's all good in my opinion. And you know, you can let them know that. You can let them know like, hey, I just need an indefinite amount of time just to work on myself. And if they are really the homie, they will continue to do whatever else they need to do, because they don't need you to operate and live in this world. There's a million other people, there's a lot of different energy out there, so stop feeling like you need to owe yourself to these people, because if they can't respect your time and energy, like, why should you respect theirs? Number 3, all right, I've said this already, probably in number 1, but number 3 is to let go of guilt. Back at UC Berkeley, I took this education class, the best class I've taken throughout my 4 years of college, and during that class we actually had a healer come in, and my biggest takeaway from that healer was when she mentioned that 2 pillars she lives by includes one of those being to let go of our guilt. It sounded super selfish and like problematic when I first heard it, but the more I've internalized what that means, at least for me, has helped me trust my homies and say no to people. We should never really hold on to guilt, especially in the long term. When we have small moments of like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or damn, maybe I should communicate it a little better. Like, yeah, you can feel guilt for the moment, but a lot of my friends have been struggling in their relationships because there's ongoing conversations of, yo, I'm still going out of my way to help this homie out, and I'm really tired and I can't do it. Pero like, I can't say no because I'm gonna feel guilty. Like, they've done so much for me before and I can't let go of that guilt. But I'm like telling you, you shouldn't feel guilty, one, if someone's really your homie, because reciprocity doesn't always have to equate with literally being like, I bought you a $50 steak, you owe me a $50 steak. You need to evaluate love languages. You gotta evaluate what your needs are with your homies. You gotta evaluate just like whatever it's gonna take to keep both of you sustainable as individuals and as partners in a friendship. So yeah, I confidently feel like I don't really hold on to guilt, and at the same time I do ultimately feel empathetic and compassionate for my homies. I try my best to always understand why folks would feel a certain way given a response, given the lack of response from me or from anyone. But with that, like, yo, we have so much we need to get done day to day. We need to work on ourselves, we gotta get food on the table, we gotta pay for rent, we gotta do our job at work, we gotta do our passions, we gotta do all these things, and we don't have time to feel guilty each and every day because more people want to take energy from us. I want you to know your energy is sacred. It's so important, and people who could care less will do anything it takes to take your energy from you. So you just gotta tell them no. You gotta be like, yo, if you were a real homie, you let me do my thing and you'd be willing to wait and be patient with me. So yeah, if you've been feeling guilty in a relationship for a really long time, trust me, you better get out of that relationship. Even if it means that you put a pause and you keep the door open and your heart open to the possibility that down the line y'all can rekindle stuff, whether that be romantic, platonic, I don't care. I hate tension. We shouldn't like long-term tension or conflict. So it's just a verbal reminder that y'all should feel like open to moments of guilt and disappointment, but that should not be the through line of your relationships with folks. All right, hopefully this wasn't too long, but those are my 3 things, y'all. Learn to say no, trust your homies, and stop holding on to guilt. If any of y'all want to talk about this more in depth, let a homie know. I'm here, and I'm looking forward to making more insight videos for y'all. If you like what you heard, please smash that like button, drop a comment about your thoughts and your feelings or any violent reactions, hit subscribe, please, and stay on the lookout for more of these insight vlogs, y'all. Peace, love, and optimism. Take care.